All right. Okay, we are live. Oh my goodness, that took an extra second. Sorry.
Nothing like having technical difficulties. What the heck is going on? It's like something's trying to sabotage you and I from going live. Last week, we had an emergency that happened like 15 minutes before we were supposed to go live with a team member, and they're
Yep.
okay, but I won't go into details because I don't know if they want me to share that, but that happened. So we had to cancel last minute. And I
Mhm.
actually had two people reach out to me to see if I was okay, which I thought was so sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, wow, we don't usually even get a community on there, much less somebody noticing that we didn't go live. And then
Mhm.
today I get to my office, which is really stormy and yucky outside. And I'm talking to you, and all of a sudden, the whole like the modem, the screen, everything just shuts down. And the dog is underneath. I have the dog with me. The dog is underneath my desk, and I thought she pulled something out, maybe. But
Oh,
I unplugged everything, replugged it in, and it is like, I don't know. I
oh,
hope like lightning didn't strike and it just burnt out everything. I'm not sure. So I'm on my phone. I can't really see you. I can't really see myself, but hey, let's do this.
yeah. From my perspective, you're just the tiniest bit fuzzy, but you were clear a minute ago, and now I'm like, okay, it's just going to clear up. It's going to be
Am
great.
I fuzzy right now? Should I
Yeah.
post my picture?
No, no, no. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Well, I tried to make myself bigger and then it took me out of the studio. So maybe I did something.
No, I think you're fine. It'll be fine. I think
All
we're
right.
I think we're good. I'm just
Okay.
yeah. So okay. So the topic at hand. Okay. So lately we have been getting a whole lot of feedback because Amy has been getting very vulnerable and showing
Oh
before
my
and
God.
after pictures of herself. And it is actually kind of astounding because I remember these photos, these before photos, because I was there. And you're right. It's just crazy because you're posting these photos and you're like, literally right now, you are 30 pounds or so, give or take, heavier than you were in these other photos. But these other photos, you literally look so different. And so tell us a
Yeah.
little bit more about this situation here with the inflammation, because I think that that's like the whole thing.
So here's what's crazy about this whole thing. I'm just going to be super transparent with you. I noticed when I started discovering the fruit soursop, I could tell like in my joints and my hands a difference for
Mhm.
myself. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, this is amazing. I feel like you're getting feedback. Are you hearing feedback from me?
No, you're perfect.
Okay, then it just must be me. But anyways, so I just figured it was the soursop helping me, but I didn't really, and I figured, I'm starting to experience some happiness and joy again because I'm producing something and that always brings fulfillment to my life. And so I didn't think much of it. But then I started looking, okay, I'm hearing a ton of feedback, Jimmy. You don't hear that?
You're fine on my side.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to try to ignore it.
Okay.
Anyways, it's really bad on my end. Okay, so then the crazy thing about cauliflower is I was eating gluten-free, grain-free, and I thought I looked great. And I knew my inflammation levels weren't great. The numbers were still not, they were off every time I went to the rheumatologist. But my lupus was under control. I wasn't on meds. So I'm like, I'm doing great. But I wasn't, because look at those pictures. And yeah, I weighed a lot less in California. And most of those pictures were taken in California than I do now in the state of Florida.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
crazy. So it's all inflammation. And I'm convinced that so many people have inflammation, they don't even realize it. And it's a silent killer. It does horrific things inside your body that you don't realize is happening inside your body. And
Yeah.
so I started getting vulnerable. There is one that I posted. I should make it a post. It was a story, actually. And it was my before picture and my after picture from cauliflower days, like a before after that I showed back then of eating gluten free, grain free. And then I did a picture of me just in the car because, yeah, some of my photo shoot pictures have been photoshopped a wee bit and it's
Mhm.
very obvious. Like, but I also have a lot of those before and afters are just raw, real pictures.
Yeah.
And so that was just this real picture. And I'm like, dang, I know how much I weighed then and I know how much I weigh now. Now, granted, I've been working out and lifting weights, so maybe, but I know I weigh more. I know I weigh more. Um, I'm a bigger size in clothing too. So it's just crazy because the inflammation, even in like, I'm dying for Doug to do a new sizzle reel for me because I watch it and I'm like, holy moly, I was so, and I didn't know it. I did not know it. And so that's the crazy thing that I think people need to realize is you probably think you're fine, but you're really not. You have inflammation. You should get your blood work done. It cost me $40 to add on. This last blood work wasn't calling for my inflammation markers, but I'm like, you know what? The pictures are so dramatic. I want to see. So I added it into my blood work. It cost me $40. I'm sure the insurance will reimburse me because it's something that I do regularly anyways. But when it came back normal, I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, I have normal inflammation levels. And the only thing in my whole life, like I'm not even disciplined as much as I was back in the cauliflower days. I ate gluten-free, grain-free. Now I will add grains in, and sometimes I'm not very good. And it depends on who I'm hanging out with, honestly. And that's why I want to talk about that because I was studying about that. I'm gonna post about that because
Yeah.
you are like the people you hang out with. So I've recently, I'll just be totally transparent and honest. Recently I had a Chick-fil-A sandwich with the bread and all. And usually that would just blow me up. But I think the sour stop is just the thing that's different. And I drink the shakes. I just had a shake. I break my fast with our shakes. So let me see if you can see this. So I've been drinking the chocolate, as you know, but this last weekend I was at an event and I made the surge with pineapple chunks in it. It was delicious and everybody thought it was delicious. So I was like, okay, I'm just keep drinking this. And then the electrolytes, which Jimmy, I'm
I
so
know
excited to get those back.
they're coming.
I know. I'm like hoarding my last little bit. Um, but that's the only thing different. And I'm not even being as disciplined as I was with the gluten-free, grain-free, but it's the inflammation is anti-inflammatory. I think a lot of these ingredients in the shake are anti-inflammatory because you've got uh,
Yeah.
turmeric, you've got milk thistle, you've got all the super berries,
Yeah.
high fiber. So I think that's really helpful. You know what is interesting? I just saw on, is it Mel Robbins?
Hmm.
I know, one of your favorite people.
She's fine.
I
I
was
like
supposed to be interviewed on the Mel Robbins show when she used to be on Fox. But anyway, she just interviewed a Harvard physician who was really, really sick. I don't know if you saw this post today.
it. Mm-mm.
And she said the number one killer is inflammation. And she started talking about fiber and how as Americans, only 5% get enough fiber. I've read 3%, only 3% get enough fiber. But fiber, too, is a huge anti inflammatory. And of course, our shakes have more fiber than IMA Bloom and AG1 combined. But I try to eat a lot of fiber.
Yeah.
And I think I wonder, I just wonder about this. The people that are on the GLP-1s that are losing weight on the GLP-1s, what are their inflammation levels? Because
Yeah.
the more they're constipated, are they inflamed or are their inflammation levels in control? That'd be a cool thing to know.
Yeah. I have read that it decreases inflammation to be on the GLP-1. Um, However, I think it's really kind of like everything, just individual,
Yeah.
it's not an end all be all for everyone. I mean, even GLP-1s across the board don't work for everyone. And then even specific ones don't work for some people and they have to change it up. And it's all just super, super fascinating. But I think one of the things about this conversation that I find so interesting is as women, would you not agree that most of us are fairly obsessed with the scale? We're fairly obsessed with like what that number says. And yet yours
Yes.
is up and you look so, so much better.
Isn't it? I gotta say, I'm totally shocked. Like, I was so shocked. Like, I know there's certain pictures where I look really bad. Like the one where I'm with Magic Johnson. Is
Oh,
my Yeah. I
yeah.
like I want to say Michael Jordan, the Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I know that one, like, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, she's so big. And here I am, and I was in awestruck. So I'm kind of like, my chin's kind of double chinning it. I look really heavy in that picture. The one where I'm on stage where I was speaking at the Houston women's thing to 400 people, those pictures are horrific. But there are other pictures where I thought I looked good and my hair is terrible. It's like, it's not as healthy as it is
Oh
now.
my gosh, your hair
And
is amazing right now.
it's this it's the product. I'm telling you, everybody needs, I'm not like, I feel like we're totally trying to pitch the product, but seriously, on all seriousness, like if you want healthier hair, you want to be anti-inflammatory, you've got to drink our shakes and eat our gummies. And then the skincare has been amazing too. So I think that there's something to be said for that. I started using, speaking of skincare, I'm going to go all over the place, but I started using the cleanser on my body. And today, the doctor I was at was the dermatologist because they found a little spot on my leg that they biopsied.
Okay.
But she usually, when I do my skin check, because I was a product of the 80s where I laid with tinfoil and baby oil, and then I also just lived in tanning beds. Usually they find a spot, they biopsy, it's benign, but I've had multiple spots. This time I had the one spot and that was it. And they retested a different spot that was there from before, but it's like the best. She even said, this is the best screening you've had. So
Mm.
thank you, Jimmy, for the skincare because I'm pretty sure that's why.
Well, that is amazing. That's a huge testimony. I love to hear that. It's
Yeah.
like, it's crazy how, I mean, I really feel like we've been, I know you said, oh, we're just kind of pushing our products. I feel like one of the things is we eat, sleep, breathe, drink soursop. So how can we not talk about soursop when we have so much soursop happening in our lives? We're using it internally. It's in our electrolytes, it's in our skincare, it's in our shakes, it's in our gummies, it's in all the things. And so then when we experience really incredible results from something, I mean, obviously we just are consumed by this fruit, so of course we're going to talk about it. That's the
I
exciting
know. I'm so obsessed with my before and afters and how much of a difference it's making that I wish I could give the product out for free because I want people, like I have people in my feed that I know are suffering from inflammation, and I just so badly want to send them the product. I know we can't do that, and we already give a lot for free away, but everybody needs to try this, and you need to give it like a couple months because you're going to see a big difference in your inflammation. And go get your blood tested. So we have an investor who's married, and the spouse is markers are usually really high. And for the first time, they were low. And the only thing the doctor said, what are you doing different? And she said the only thing she's doing different is drinking the soursop, our soursop. She's drinking the electrolytes. She's obsessed with them and taking the gummies.
Yeah.
So it's not just me. I'm not just isolated, but I have found so many more pictures to me and videos. And I'm just like, holy moly, I thought I was super healthy and I was representing a healthy product, cauliflower. And I look so inflamed. And I know my inflammation markers were high back then. And I just figured it was stress because I'm like, I'm eating right. It's got to be just stress.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I think there's also a part of it that was stress. I mean, stress wasn't helping.
Yeah, but this last year I was more stressed out than I've been in my life in many decades. I mean, this last year was a really difficult year with the death, with the IRS, which I'm now coming out and I'm starting to talk about because they can't come after me anymore. We signed all the paperwork. So I can
Yeah.
finally expose my experience.
Mhm.
The IRS thing was just, it was really hard on my marriage. It was hard on me. It was hard on our business. And then, of course, the personal betrayal that I experienced, which I won't go into today, but
Yeah.
that was a really rough year. 2025 was not my favorite year, and it was under a tremendous amount of stress. And so I feel like if inflammation and sickness was going to attack me, that was the year it should have done it through stress and not sleeping. And sleep is so important. I've got another sleep thing I'm going to post today as well. But I drink soursop every day because I know it helps me. I know 100% without a doubt, it helps me. And my parents tease me all the time because they'll be like, oh, this is happening. I'll be like, eat soursop. Oh, this is happening. Have you eaten soursop? Like,
I
they're
know, I
like, you're
know.
obsessed. I'm like, yes, I am.
Literally every single time that somebody is like, "Oh, I have a little cold," I'm like, "Oh, you need some soursop gummies. You need to, yeah, you need these. These are gonna just make everything better."
I
That's
know. Recently, somebody said, when are you going to sell? And I said, I'm not selling for a while because I'm so afraid somebody's going to jack with my soursop.
oh
And
my
I
god,
need it. I need
I
it for a
know.
while longer.
I know. I feel that way. Yeah, I feel that way about the skincare too. I mean, it's just
Oh,
it's so good. I
the
don't want anybody
skincare,
to
the
mess with
skincare
it.
is so amazing. I believe the skincare is going to be famous
Yeah,
someday.
yeah,
Famous when the right people get a hold of it, it's going to be famous. It is to die for. And I got to be in our lab last week. I won't go into too many details because we don't want to give our secrets away.
yeah.
But it was so much fun working with the chemists that we work with and a couple other people that we work with. And I got to formulate a mask, like put my own ingredients in. And of course, I used all of our ingredients and then I added some and it was fun. It was so fun. And just to be in there for hours and like working on things other than just in your kitchen is really cool because they've got all the cool equipment. Very fun. And we made it very anti-inflammatory mask.
Yeah, that's it. I'm so excited. Yeah, I know. I'm like over here going, I'm head of innovation and I missed that meeting. That's
Oh, we're
I'm
going.
so glad that you
We're gonna take our investors, a couple of our investors and you, and we're going back there
Yeah,
for sure because it's very cool. And they have 8 lab stations, so 8 people could actually formulate at the same time. It's pretty cool. And they can scale too. They can do all kinds of things. They have the ability to source all kinds of things too. Like our partner, our chemist, our partner that helps us is going to Korea to study Korean skincare as well,
yeah,
which I know is like we don't need to go into that. That could be a whole nother topic that we do. But
yeah.
let's go more into like um more into the fiber, the anti-inflammatory, the
Well,
inflammation.
I was going to list in the chat, in the comments, some of the labs that you might want to get in order
Oh,
to check your insulin, your inflammation levels. I was reading the word insulin, so I was about to say the wrong word, but
well,
a
that has something to
fasting,
do with it too, though.
yeah, exactly, yeah, fasting insulin, and then the A1C and your glucose levels and different things like that are some of the things that people are going to want to get checked to see if they have high inflammation. Ferritin is another thing that you should be checking. Obviously, just you're a CBC, just a standard blood panel. So I was just going to go through and just grab a few recommendations and throw those in
Okay.
the chat.
That's super beneficial for people because I get people all the time asking me, how do I know? And I think it's really beneficial because when you go to the doctor, like you go to your primary care, you're not going to go to a rheumatologist unless you've been diagnosed with something. But you go to your regular doctor, they're not going to, there's a lot of these blood tests they're not going to do unless you request them. And the
Yeah,
insurance will cover it, but you got to request it.
yeah,
And then don't be surprised if they're off and you have symptoms like rashes or swelling, joint pain, whatever it might be. Don't be surprised if they don't send you to a specialist because they're not always equipped to treat it. So they
yeah,
might send you to a rheumatologist. And here's my advice for everyone. I really do believe the right kind of food can be medicine. Like, don't let them put you on steroids and Plaquenil and all the horrific drugs. Coming
mhm,
from somebody that was really, really sick and was put on all of those, the side effects are worse than the actual whatever's happening with you. In my case, it was lupus, Sjogren's, inflammations attacking my body. I think you can do food as medicine. And I love that I mean, I believe this, and I've been talking a lot about God. God placed somebody in my life randomly, so random, that introduced me to soursop. And
mhm.
then shortly after that, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and so were you. And
Yep.
then I started realizing that soursop could help with that. And then I was getting the fruit. So it's just so nothing's random. Everything is intentional. I think God meant for us to find this. And especially in particular for me, I believe that, well, for you too, and for my mom, and for anybody else that has the giant C word. But for me, for the inflammation, it was just kind of a side effect. Like I didn't realize it was going to benefit me so much.
Mhm.
And I think you're going to hear a lot about sleep, fiber, inflammation. I think inflammation is going to be a buzzword coming
Yeah.
up because I think that inflammation is the cause and the root of a lot of our problems, arthritis, um, you know, weight gain, puffiness,
Mhm.
brain fog
Yeah.
is a big one, hormonal disruption, all kinds of things, heart disease, diabetes. It's a killer.
Yeah.
Liver disease, non-alcoholic liver disease. It's a silent killer. So good for you, Jimmy, because people that watch this, and we need to take a clip of it. Johan, take a clip of what Jimmy's recommending. And you should say them out loud, Jimmy.
Okay, yeah, let's look at, oh, you know what? In my little chat where I posted it, it decided to squish them all together. So fasting
Oh,
insulin, fasting glucose, A1C, CBC, CMP, ferritin, vitamin D. Vitamin D is an interesting one because I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but you can actually take too much vitamin D. Like I'm kind of one of those people, I feel like if a little bit's good, a lot must be better, you know? And
yeah.
so there was a season in my life where I was actually taking way too much vitamin D and they would test my levels and they were like, you have the opposite problem from most people where you don't have it. I was like taking too much. I was like, oh my gosh, but you really do need to get your vitamin D levels checked because that is one of the supplements that you can actually take too much of. So we do have vitamin D in a lot of our stuff, but we don't have an abundance of it to the point where even if you were to take our shakes and our gummies simultaneously, you would not like overdose on vitamin D. It's just, it would be like a nice bolster. So that's really great. And we actually intentionally formulated all of our products so that you can take them in tandem with one another so that you can get some fruit out of this one and some leaves out of this one, because the fruit and the leaves all have different capabilities and different, you know, the acetogenins are in the leaves, and then we have the like massive like antioxidant in both. And so there's so many benefits in both the fruit itself and the leaves that we have put them into all of the products in different ways so that you can literally just use our gummies, use our shakes, use our electrolytes, use our skincare, and not like overdose on any of these things. You know what I mean? It's just like the perfect balance. So I am really excited. I think it's just like so much fun to tell people about soursop. And it's really funny because we were in the store the other day and we saw jackfruit and I was laughing because I was like, I just for the quickest second, you know, just out of the corner of my eye, I was like, that looks like a massive soursop. And I was like,
That's so funny. And a lot of people come at us with that study saying, oh, well, I don't want to because of neurotoxicity or whatever. And let me just tell you, it's like my husband says, who's a physician, he says it all the time. If you drink too much water, if you drink gallons and gallons of water, it could kill you. But you got to have water to live. So he's like, use that analogy all day long because the amount of soursop those poor rats were getting, and it wasn't done on humans, was like the consumption of us humans eating like over 10 pounds of soursop a day. And it's not realistic. And so there's nothing, I mean, we have a neurosurgeon that's one of our investors. There's nothing to worry about. Like it is, the benefits far outweigh anything. There's really nothing negative about it.
yeah.
Benefits far outweigh it. So
yeah, that's really, it's interesting. People, you know, you're always going to find naysayers. You're always going to find people who are trying to look for the angle or whatever. And I mean, I think one of the things that I think is really interesting about using nature and food as medicine, like you mentioned, is we kind of both come from this, not kind of, we both come from this perspective of, you know, God created this fruit and we need to use it. We need to incorporate it into our lives. And I think it's fascinating because in the United States, we don't really most people don't even know what it is, or just recently are learning what a soursop even is. And so it's been really fun over these past couple of years, just educating everyone about what it is and how it works and what it can do, and really just squashing those negative, I won't even call them studies, but like the negative research that has come out about it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I know your husband's a doctor and I love him dearly. So this is nothing against doctors. And I love lots of doctors, but doctors don't study nutrition. Doctors study pharmacology. They study prescriptions, they study or surgery, or, emergency medicine, or they're not well versed in what is happening in nature to feed your body in those ways.
No.
And so as much as I appreciate emergency medicine and appreciate them so much, so please hear me, but also like, let's not forget that they don't study that stuff. This isn't their area of expertise.
They have, at least when Jim went through med school and I was part of his life back then, and residency and his internship, they had a half day on nutrition. Half day. Now it could have changed, and I hope it has changed, but they had a half day. I mean, and Western medicine is really, I mean, if I look at Jim's practice, and he works for a hospital now, he doesn't have his own practice. He's got quotas to meet. He's got so many people to see, and he can't biohack anybody. Like, he can't sit there and like, he can do it for his specialty, but he can't check your inflammation levels and advise you on what anti-inflammatory products you should be eating and all this stuff. Like, they just don't have that time, nor the education. So I think it's really important. And of course, with the internet and AI, we have the ability to really help ourselves, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So when you go to the doctor, I'll just repeat this. If you're curious if your inflammation levels are high, or if you have any kind of connective tissue disorder or autoimmune, you can request these particular blood draws, fasting blood draws. Usually it's fasting, but you almost always have to ask for it. I mean, there's certain ones like your insulin levels and stuff like that they check pretty regularly, depending on what you're in there for. But some of the other things they're not checking. Like, you specifically have to ask for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to find a physician or a nurse practitioner, or, have your primary care physician be someone who you can talk to about this stuff and actually will listen to you. I found in my little town, I found a nurse practitioner who is so great. And anytime, like you and I were talking yesterday, or maybe the day before, and you said, I'll just say, Amy said, I think you need to get checked for Sjogren's, because I have a lot of Sjogren's symptoms. I really do. You're not wrong. And I actually sent her, I love the little portal where you can send a message. And I sent her a little message and I was like, can I get checked for Sjogren's, please? And I mean, it was
what did she say?
She goes, yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, that's cool. Because sometimes I'll argue with you about it and be like, I remember I didn't even know I had any autoimmune issues, but once I had it, I was like obsessed with making sure that I was getting it under control. And I remember this one doctor's like, yeah, your blood work's positive, but you don't have it. I'm like, what? How is that possible? And he's like, because you don't have any symptoms. Like, you have to have symptoms and positive blood work to be diagnosed with autoimmune issues.
Yeah.
Like,
well, what was funny is I was talking to my husband and I was like, Amy thinks I have Sjogren's. And he was like, okay, read to me all the symptoms of Sjogren's. And I read them to him and he goes, well, I have it too.
That's the problem. So, and Doug probably does not have it.
Oh no, not at all. It was so funny. I could not stop.
Yours, it just might be a hormonal imbalance for you right now because of what, where you are in life.
Because I'm 46 and going through perimenopause. I know, you can call me out.
I didn't want to call you out. I did not want to call you out. But yeah, they're vague, and like, I'll just be totally truthful. Before I got diagnosed with anything, I remember thinking fibromyalgia was like in the head. And we had this friend from Chico who something was always wrong with her. And I always felt bad for her kids because something was always wrong. I wish I could give her the biggest hug now, because I'm quite certain something was wrong. I don't think we all like out in the barn when we were riding horses and stuff, we all thought that she was like just like depressed and always sick. But you know what? Now that I've been there, I'm like, gosh, I wish I could give her a hug because I'm quite certain something was really wrong. And, she was diagnosed under the umbrella of fibromyalgia, which some doctors think are just in your head.
Yeah.
And it probably was something even more. She probably, I mean, I think about her a lot and think, I think she had Sjogren's. I'm
Well,
just lucky Sjogren's is only attacking my eyes and not attacking, at least we can't find anything else. It's just attacking my eyes.
okay, well, here's something crazy. Okay, so I don't know, like we're just friends here. We're just gonna chat about this. But your when I first met you, I didn't know that your husband and my cousin were partners in their practice, right?
No.
Remember? Okay. So I ended up going and seeing my cousin because when I was living in Chico, I started losing my voice all the time and I was constantly hoarse. And I remember going to him and like actually doing the scopy thingy down my nose and having him look for like nodules on my vocal cords and all these things. And it was so funny because he's my cousin, right? So, and he would treat me just exactly the same way that Jim would. He goes, Jimmy, there was this condition back in like the 50s. I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically called like laryngitis of like hysteria. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. And your cousin still runs the practice that we used to own, by the way.
Oh my gosh, there. So funny. So he would actually say, he was like, I think you're just like hysterical.
Oh gosh. Oh no, Jimmy, I didn't know this story.
Okay, so it was the funniest. I couldn't stop laughing because, I love my cousin. He's the best. But it was so funny how he said it. He was just kind of like, I think that when you get like worked up, you just like lose your voice. And I was like, oh, okay. So what you're telling me is like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Were you working for me then?
No,
for Cali?
no. This was way before I was working for you.
Okay.
No, you can't blame yourself. No, it was.
Well, it was a stressful time.
It was so interesting to me that but back in the 50s, before they were like more sensitive to like how they would really like name diagnosis people, they would say like, well, you're losing your voice because you're hysterical ultimately. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're calling me hysterical right now. But when I've looked at the symptoms for Sjogren's, right there, it said dry throat and hoarseness. And then, my mouth is always dry and my eyes hurt all the time and I get styes and stuff. And so I was just laughing so hard because I was like, watch, I'm going to end up with Sjogren's and I'm going to text my cousin and be like, you just called me hysterical.
If you have Sjogren's, we're going to have a cup of tea and cry. I don't want you to have Sjogren's.
I think I'll be fine. Look, I don't have hardly any autoimmune issues.
No, you're so disciplined. And I love that about you. Like when I'm around you, I become just more disciplined. And that's funny because I'm going to do a post on that because I'm getting ready to go on a cruise. And I notice I've cruised a lot lately. And I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise. You haven't because you won't go on one. But anybody out there that's been on a cruise knows that there's quite a bit of obesity on cruises. It's just
okay.
Well, at least the cruises I'm on, like maybe the cruises I'm on, there are a lot of obese people. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I have pretty good habits. What am I doing that's causing me to gain a little bit of weight or not be as healthy as usual? And I never drank alcohol before, and all of a sudden I'm starting to have a few drinks. Nothing obscene, although I've had a couple nights that were not great, but nothing too bad. And I don't smoke, but I'm around like people that are eating fast food. I'm around people that are drinking. And I was like, but I'm disciplined. I get up every day, I make my bed. I'm very disciplined. I have very rigid routines.
Yeah.
But I was reading studies today, and you are 57% more like who you're hanging around if they have bad habits, because it's the least path of resistance that you will not even realize that you're doing that you will do. So I'm bringing this up because if you have a good friend that's eating poorly or drinking, you're more likely, 57% more likely to adopt their bad habits rather than them adopting your good habits,
Mm.
because it's the path of least resistance and you don't even realize you're doing that. So, why am I bringing this up? Well, because
You just
I don't
mentioned
know.
when you're well, you said when you're hanging out with people, you tend to have better habits because I'm so disciplined. But
Oh, yeah.
I think that you're totally right. Like you kind of, my dad used to say it this way: "You are who you hang out with." That's
Yeah.
exactly
You're
what.
like the 5 people you hang out with. But if you're hanging out with, so I was looking at some of the, okay, this is why I was going to say it. See, I brain fog today. I've been hanging out with the wrong people lately. Um, I was looking at some of the pictures back in the day of these before and after pictures I'm showing of
Mhm.
you and I together at some of the shows because we traveled a lot together.
Yeah.
And I don't really have any inflammation in those pictures. Like, shockingly, some of the ones of you and I I don't look puffy or anything. It's probably because I was doing whatever you were doing. I
Yeah.
was conforming to you and you are so disciplined. So back to, even if you get diagnosed with Sjogren's, you're going to tackle that baby and you'll have all kinds of advice for all of us that have been dealing with it for years, because you're definitely going to use food as medicine. And
Yeah.
it's hard to use food as medicine when the food system in the United States is so corrupt. And then the reason why you don't see a lot of, it's interesting, this last weekend I was at that event and there was a lady that came up. She's actually a physician and she's from the Caribbean. And I'm like, you know what this is? And she's like, absolutely. My grandmother had, like, you ate the fruit. She's like, it is, food is medicine. She called it food as medicine before I did, but she
Yeah.
knew all about soursop. And she didn't call it soursop, obviously. There's all different names. And she knew all about it. But 9 times out of 10, the people that came up had never heard of it.
Yeah.
And it's such a powerful superfood. Why don't we know about it in the United States? Hmm.
Well, hmm. I love how in Hamilton he just says, "Follow the money and see where it goes."
No doubt. No doubt. It is, our food system is corrupt.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
can say that because I was knee deep in it. It's all about the margins and the cheapest thing you can put out.
Yeah.
The cheaper, the
Oh my God.
better.
Oh yeah, like big food and big pharma and oh yeah, absolutely. And remember, I'll never forget. I know I've mentioned this on a live once before. We were talking about when we were in Miami, asking people if they recognized the fruit, and a lot of people in Miami did actually recognize it
Yeah.
because of just the culture in Miami. But the one girl that we ran into, who I still follow her on Instagram, and she's just like gorgeous, but she was the one who had both parents who were consuming soursop regularly to treat their issues medically that I don't want to get this live shut down, so I won't say. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's so fascinating. And literally the fact that I just had to caveat that last sentence the way that I did so that our live doesn't get shut down.
There's a
It's
problem. That's a
crazy.
problem right there. That's a problem right there.
There's something called freedom of speech, and yet somehow we can't speak freely on YouTube.
Yeah. And I will take somebody's experience over a prescription,
Yeah.
or, I'll take somebody's word of mouth experience any day over that. Like,
Yeah.
I eat this and it helps me with this. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
going to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a big thing too that I just want to touch on is with a diagnosis that might be fatal or might be, like we were just discussing, Sjogren's isn't typically fatal, but it can cause other issues. But if I have had a fatal diagnosis in the past,
Mhm.
and I think the way that you think about it really helps. Like if you have a positive attitude and I'm not just saying, oh, like think
Yeah.
positively and nothing bad will happen. I'm not like name it or claim it. Like that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying like they have studies at Johns Hopkins that literally show percentages of people who will heal faster because they have a positive thought
Yep.
process about their outcome.
Yeah. And I believe that's true. Like, your words carry so much power. Like, what you call out, I believe, is going to happen. So if you call out that you're, like, for the IRS, I kept telling Jim, stop calling out that this is going to, they're going to win, they're going to kill us. Like, stop it. I'm not. I literally gave it up to God. I'm like, I know I'm in the right. You're in control. I know you're going to fix this for us. I mean, I did a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. I spent
Oh, I know you did.
hours and hours working on it, but
Yeah.
I couldn't, I slept at night still because I couldn't let it take over my life. But
Yeah.
I think that your words are really powerful. If you say you're going to be poor, you're going to be poor. If you say you're fat, you're going to be fat. Like,
And
I
I
think,
don't, it's not like magic. It's not like, oh, just say those things. I think it actually does something to your chemistry that, like, it's not necessarily like, oh, say this and then this is going to happen. But I do think looking at things from a more optimistic or gratitude perspective,
gratitude.
thinking about, when I wake up in the morning, my pastor always encourages us to wake up in the morning and just give the day to the Lord and thank him for another day that we get to breathe and just to be alive. And I think just setting your intention towards that. If you have a diagnosis that is that has you bumming, we had one of our customers reach out to us this past week to tell us that she has a really, really aggressive form of cancer, and she's just super bummed. And we sent a little care package and sent her all these like love notes and just want people to know that it really doesn't have to be the end just because the diagnosis is not great. So just kind of waking up and thinking about ways to be grateful and ways that you can serve your body and serve yourself spiritually and all of those things, I really, really believe that they help. And like with your situation with the IRS, I think it was you were proactive, you went after it, you fought for yourself, but you didn't just lay down and let it take you. Do you know what I mean? And so the attitude of like, this is not going to conquer me, like we're going to take care of this, means that you got up and you took initiative and you did the things that you needed to do that. So I think and that you can extrapolate that out in any direction with anything that you're working on or dealing with,
And I was just going to say, and that's what you did with your big C word that you'll get shut down for, which again, freedom of speech and all of that. You're getting me all riled up because it's just wrong. But
Yeah.
you did the same thing, and look at you now. Look at how healthy you are, and it's just incredible. I think the power of the tongue is incredible, and the power of faith. And I'm really out there talking a lot about it because it's changed my life completely. It's changed business. It's changed my life.
Mhm.
I don't know how people deal with things when they don't have that in their life. Like, because everybody deals with something. I mean, nobody's life is perfect. There's always trials and tribulations. So how do you handle them?
Yeah,
And living in a space of gratitude is huge.
it is. It's huge. And just real quick plug, Amy has just launched a 90-day prayer journal called Faithfully Found. You can find it on amylacey.com. Hey, amylacey.com. And it is so good. I literally told her I feel like it needs to be like mandatory reading for anybody who works for us because it is so good. So I'm just throwing it out there.
You and Claude didn't have just a little bit of help there.
Oh,
Just a little bit.
we did this. It was a collaborative effort. Okay. It's
Yeah,
really, really good.
it's amazing. And I have not got my hands on
Your
the
final copy.
final version yet. It should be here
No.
today though, and I'm super excited. So I wasn't going to talk about it until I actually got it in my hands. But yeah,
I can't help it. We're not going live for another 2 weeks, so we're going to talk about it really quick right now. So
okay.
that people can get their hands on it. But then, and I think the reason only because it came up naturally. The reason is because if you set your intention every single day towards gratitude and being mindful and being thoughtful and just being surrendered to and we're both Christians. We both, are God-fearing individuals. And so we submit, our day to the Lord every single day. And we're not saying that you have to do it our way, but definitely if you need a guide, if you need a book that can just kind of help you get your mindset right, it's there. And I'll stick a link in the chat for it. But I had to plug it because I'm like so excited about, oh, hi, Bae.
Oh, geez. She just burped in the microphone.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? If anybody has a doodle, they understand. You can't even go to the bathroom without the doodle like at your feet. Like the doodle, I think she thinks I might be talking to her. I don't know. Or she's jealous that I'm talking to you. But I am super excited. I want to do a live 90-day, like every day, go live and do it with a community for free. Like just have a group of people go through it for 90 days. It's going to be so powerful. And I was talking about gratitude this weekend when I did my talk because I threw in a slide on forgiveness, even though I wasn't doing the forgiveness factor talk. But just how important it is, and you can't be angry and have gratitude at the same time. So if you find yourself angry a lot, like try to just be grateful and try to be grateful for the people that have wronged you too, because there's always something to be grateful and something to be learned from it, even in the worst situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I'm really excited about this. I can't wait. I'm going to do I'm going to do a live every single day for 90 days on it.
I'm excited. I'm really excited about
Yeah.
it. It's going to be good.
So I don't know what time we have because I'm on my phone. I can't see
Yeah.
the time.
It's we have 10 minutes. Unless we wanted to
Okay.
just be all done. We can do whatever.
We can wrap it up. But any other things we want to talk about with inflammation? I'm so glad. I think this is going to be a powerful episode that you give people the suggestions to their physician to get the blood work.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's in this chat, and I'll talk with our guy who helps us, put these into stories and stuff and reels and such, and make sure that he includes those as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
we have 5 people with us right now. We had about 30. We had about 30 people
Are
with us.
you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't see it, so I don't know. Well, you know what? If anybody ever has a question, I'm an open book. Like you can ask me, you can DM me on Hey Amy Lacey. I check all my own DMs, or you can ask us on here. Jimmy's an open book too. Like we're pretty open. I'm really open. I'm like talking about everything lately, and I'm okay with that. I feel like if it helps one person, then great. I got real vulnerable in my talk this last weekend, and it's okay because I had several women come up to me and say that they have experienced the same thing. So if I can be relatable and if I can help in any way, then I just feel like that's my purpose lately.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about where you were this weekend. Just a little quick recap.
Yeah.
Not the I know you went to our lab.
Yeah,
but
no, I won't say. But I was at Dora's heart cell event. And so what Dora does is she does these, I think most of them are 1 day events, although it sounded like she's had retreats too. But she does this whole program and she's been in corporate and she really defines the difference between marketing and sales and what's going to actually drive traffic versus actual sales. It was really good. It was really interesting. And I was asked to be the opening keynote speaker for community building. And so one of the slides I did was on from my forgiveness factor talk, because I really think that if you are not living in a space of gratitude, and if you're frustrated, angry, or have somebody that you need to forgive, even yourself, that's going to block the growth of your business. And so I was talking a little bit about that, and that seemed to trigger quite a few women because they came up to me and they had their own experiences. And you don't have to forgive, for in my case, the person that harmed me. You don't have to actually, you forgive yourself more than you're forgiving them, but it's for the ability to move forward in your business and for the ability to be able to grow. And that all happens when you can forgive and move forward. And if you're stuck, if you're angry, if you're stagnant, obviously it's going to affect your business, it's going to affect your relationships. And so I think I triggered a little bit, but the event was great. I'm a huge fan of Cleveland, Ohio. I've been there before. I took Caroline on a college interview there, but I went to some waterfall. I can't pronounce it. It was amazing. It was so beautiful, 60-foot high waterfall. It's easy to drive around there. The people are so nice. It's very clean. It was fun. I didn't get to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like I wanted to, but I love Dora's event and Dora's community. They were amazing women. So if any of them are on or listen to this, I'm just so grateful that I got to be a part of that community. Dora is great. She's super smart and she has a lot to offer. So I'm thinking if I have the time that I somehow need to be a part of her program. It was really good. It was really good.
That's great. I'm so glad. Yeah, I was really excited to see that you went to that waterfall. You posted that picture on Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that
Well,
was there.
the funny thing is they had a 2-hour loop. And so I got into the 2-hour loop and it was starting to it wasn't getting dark. Sunset wasn't until 8:45, but it was 8:45 and I looked at, and my earbuds happened to be in the car and I could I was lost basically and I could track them and they were 1.4 miles away. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be stuck in the middle of the woods. It's going to be pitch black. I already can't see very well, especially at night. I was freaking out. So I did 1.4 miles. Like I hightailed it out of there so fast, but I was really proud of myself. It was fun. I got like 13,000 steps in that day, but yeah, the waterfall was beautiful. I mean, we just don't, I'm sure that somewhere in Florida, there's beautiful waterfalls like that, but I haven't seen it for a long time. And it was gorgeous and it was just fun to do that. And so it was a great weekend and the most amazing people. And I sold out of every product we had there. Like I had products, people were scooping up the skincare left and right, loving it.
Good.
So, and they could sample it right there, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And they were loving it. So.
That's awesome. I know we've only been getting just incredible feedback. I've had so many people reach out with just like glowing reviews on the skincare. So I'm excited to see more people jump in on that one because it's really awesome. So
Yeah.
cool. Well, I'm really, it's good. It's also good. So we're just excited to be here with you guys, and we're coming back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And I just think the moral of this is look at that blood work if you think you have anything going on, and get it tested, or just get it tested just to get it tested. And then secondly, really be mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with. And if you see that the majority of the people you're hanging out with have really bad habits, be intentional about your own habits because you are ultimately in charge of yourself. And just make good choices. And we really have to be careful because we're fed a lot of garbage, meaning there's a lot of really bad supplements out there. There's terrible skincare out there that was loaded with fragrances that cause, a lot of problems, chemical problems with the big C word. And it's just, you just have to be intentional with what you do. And you have to trust people that have experienced maybe what we've experienced and are looking for better ways. And if you can't find it, you make it. That's kind of what we did.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it, you made it. So
yeah, absolutely.
And of course, the power of soursop. I'm gonna die preaching soursop, I tell you.
Yeah, inside and out.
It's definitely God's fruit.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we are I'm really excited about this, but we have some meetings lined up with some dermatologists, some plastic surgeons, some different physicians that are interested in carrying our skincare line in their office. So you might start seeing us in a local plastic surgeon or dermatologist office, or potentially a med spa near you. So we will definitely, as soon as we start getting more like wholesale distribution, we'll put that on our website and make sure that you guys know how you can find it locally. But in the meantime, if you want to try our skincare line, Livyond.com, it's in the comments here, but I will add it one more time. So you
and it
can
is the
check it out.
only thing I use now. It's the only thing I use. And I just was at the dermatologist and they were like, your face, your skin looks great. And I know I have that one little spot below my knee, but that I need to use the soursop down there. I haven't been using it. I've been using the cleanser on our whole body, but they were raving because usually I have more problems. And this was an annual exam, so it was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yay. Okay. Well, I think that's
Jimi.
Okay. Absolutely. We will see you guys here again in a couple of weeks. Just join us for our banter, our chit chat. We just like to record, us hanging out, talking about all the things. So it's exciting to hang out with you all. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you. I have to look at my real calendar because I'm a real calendar girl. The 17th, same time.
Okay. That sounds amazing.
All right. Bye.
Bye.